Welcome back to the Ice Maker Chronicles. This is episode 2. If you haven't noticed, I got this cool artwork done. I just got a person on Fiverr to do artwork of our hero, Darren, aka the Ice Maker robot. And this is a little, I just made this on Pages on Apple, and it's a little just sort of character card. I really loved in all the sort of box sets how these, like there were these little character cards that were it just had just the info you need on there. So I decided to make my own little layout like this, and so I made one for our friend Ice Maker, aka Darren. So when we last left Darren and his friend Scott had gone to where this museum had been crushed in San Francisco. And they had he kind of peppered the security guard with some questions and found out that the only lead that they have as to why the museum was crushed was that earlier in that day, the Spider-Man villain Rhino had been, came up to the front doors of the museum. It was locked. He looked in through the doors, turned around with a smile on his face and walked away. And that's what that's what a camera from across the street saw. So we don't know for sure if Rhino was involved with whatever happened to the museum, but that seems like a likely place to start. So we would start with that, except I'm going to say that this took place after school. I'm thinking all these little adventures will take place after school. And after they talked to the security guard, John Gilmore, Darren and his friend Scott parted ways. They went home because it was after school. They couldn't stay out too late. Go home to do all their homework and all that stuff. Now, if you remember, our hero, Ice Maker, he is a robot that was made by the Dynatron Foundation Corporation. I think it's corporation. It says foundation on there. But anyway, and he went home. And when he goes home, he goes to an apartment in San Francisco. But when he walks in the door, there are triggers that power him down and make him walk to like a little charging station type thing. And then implanted memories get implanted into his head of him being at home with his mom and dad. He's a robot. He doesn't have a mom and dad. And we're going to say that Dipna Miles, who is the lead tech on the Ice Maker program, is there in the apartment when he comes in. Now, he doesn't see her or recognize her at all, but she downloads all his thoughts and feelings for the day, and she's looking at it. And so I think the question is, would she let him continue on this path and possibly tangle with Rhino, or would she try to overwrite that programming that he had been installed? I mean, it's kind of this AI. He's his own independent person. Would she try to overwrite that? And so let's see if she would, or would she encourage it? If she's like with the Dynatron Corporation, like, yeah, let's see what this robot can do. So I think we have a chaos factor of 6. I actually think that it's likely she would say, yes, just let him go ahead and do it. So it's likely, so that's 2 cards and it's any yes, but the chaos factor is 6, so that's 1 card. So it's 3 cards, any yes. So let's see what would happen. Oh, we got a no. We got another no. And we got another no. So Dipna is going to say, no, we can't let him go up against the Rhino. So she programs that out of his memory and then sends him to school the next day. Well, of course, when he gets to school the next day, his good friend Scott says, well, what are we going to do about this? And Ice Maker Darren is saying, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. And Scott kind of explains to him what happened and like, here's the thing, and what are we going to do? And Darren's just like, well, I don't think we should do anything because that's his program that he has. Well, it's sort of a weird dead end there. So let's see what Is Darren going to try and override his programming and go with Scott after school to try and track down Rhino? Or is he going to come up with some sort of other idea? This is the only thing I can think of right now that might possibly happen next in the scene. Or, maybe they, if the answer is no, he's not, maybe there's some other adventure we would go on. So let's see. He is going, you know what? I'm going to discard that because I didn't ask the fate question. Chaos factor is 6. Is Ice Maker going to overrule his programming? That is the question. And we already put a yes, but I'm going to say it's 50-50, so that's 1 card, but the chaos factor is 6, so that's 2 cards. Let's see if we get a yes. We got a no, and we got another no. So there it is. We're going to let this thread of maybe it will come back. Why was the museum crushed? Maybe it will come back. But for now, we're going to cross these off. And just his programming, Dipna's programming, is too good. And Ice Maker saying, listen, I don't think you should go do this, Scott. I'm not going to do it. So after school, this is a superhero adventure. We got to have some sort of adventure happening. After school, we are going to say that Mrs. Bruni, who was actually my 3rd grade teacher, but Mrs. Bruni, who is Darren's teacher, and Darren works on the paper for the school newspaper, sends him to go interview somebody. So who is he going to go interview, and what is he going to go interview them about? So that's going to be the setup scene. So let's get the description of what he is going to interview about. All right, majestically important. Let's say majestically important. That makes me, there's no kings or anything, but it majestically makes me think of kings. So let's say that Mrs. Bruni has gotten Darren, because he's their star reporter, an interview with the mayor. And we will say that Mayor Brown, let's get a thread card is 8, and a character card for Mayor Brown is 4. So there you go. We've got a mayor card. So, we've got a task. That's what is going to be happening. So, our next expected scene is after school. Darren goes by himself to City Hall. He's a San Francisco kid. He's running up and down the streets to interview the mayor. And we need to see whether or not this scene happens, or if the expected scene happens, or we get an altered scene or an interrupt scene. So we get, let's see, the chaos factor is a 6, and the scene setup is 1 to 7. So we are going to say that it's expected that what we thought was going to happen is going to happen. So we head on over to City Hall. Darren is over to City Hall. He is interviewing the mayor, and he asks the mayor, just questions about the city and how is the city doing and what's it like being a mayor. And, he's an elementary school kid. He's 13, so he's a junior high kid. So the questions aren't necessarily hard-hitting. He's asking about the recycling program. He's asking about other things. But let's say there's one question that he asked the mayor where the mayor kind of gets a little evasive and a kind of fidgety. And so what was that question about? So we're going to draw another description here. And the description is peacefully messy. Peacefully messy. Peacefully messy. So we are going to say that there are some protesters who, because it's San Francisco, come on. I know Berkeley would be better, but There are some protesters who are out protesting. They're protesting the high price. The high price, because we've got messfully. They are peacefully protesting the high price of of garbage cleanup in the city, and they're saying that, you know, there's just trash bags on the corner. It's like a big city, and it's just that there's garbage cans that are full. And so Darren asks him about that, and the mayor gets pretty evasive. He gets pretty evasive about this, so I think. The question we are going to ask ourselves is the mayor's evasiveness on this situation because there is something underhanded going on that perhaps the mayor is involved in. So I'm going to say it's 50-50. We'll give the mayor the benefit of the doubt. But the chaos factor is still at a 6, so that's 1 extra card, so it'll be 2 cards, and any yes will have it that the mayor is actually involved in this. Oh, there you go, right off the top. It is a yes. And so now we're going to ask, how is the mayor involved in this this shady, underhanded stuff going on with the thing? Frighteningly delightful. Frighteningly delightful. We are going to say that there is some sort of, and I understand this is probably not how city politics work, but we are going to say that there is a supervillain, yet to be named supervillain. I can't spell villain. Villain to be named, who will be given card number 15. Oh, I wrote that on the wrong thing. So this is 15. And this, we will need a card and a thread card as well. 6 is something nefarious. At the dump. So there's something nefarious at the dump. So we will say that at the end of our little conversation here with the mayor, that this thing comes up about the prices, and the mayor is obviously nervous about this. And so using his journalism trait, his journalism talent, he gets the information out of the mayor that, or he just knows that the mayor is hiding something. He's not being fully honest with him. So this is where we're going to get into rolling. Let's see, what would this be? Journalism. He is trying to, is psyche... Psyche is mental. Let's see. Agility, combat. Okay, flight. We don't have flight. Material strength. Let me get to these. I just want to see what is sort of the... oh, here we go. It'll be back here, right? Ranks and numbers. Okay, here we go. Psyche measures willpower and a force of will. It's usually measure attacks and magic. A high psyche. What is like, you know, he's trying to ask a probing question here. Yeah, fine. So it's intuition. So he's going to make an intuition roll to find out. I guess I should have done this before I drew those cards about the villain, but we're going to say maybe this will give him some sort of extra clue. So his intuition is actually excellent. So he will need a 41 or higher to get a green. And then even higher, we'll find out what he knows, maybe a little bit more. So red die is the tens place, black die is the ones place, and we've got an 06. So yeah, the mayor, he knows something is up, but the mayor doesn't is super tight-lipped, not going to give anything away. So I may actually strike that frightfully. Whatever that was, the frightfully blah, blah, blah. But this is enough. Darren knows that there is enough going to the dump. And I actually was thinking that after, I should have moved this back down to 5. But we're gonna end the scene here. So Darren is going to make his plans to head to the dump tomorrow and see if... see what he can find out about what's happening with the mayor down at the dump, down in the dumps. That's going to be the name of this the name of this adventure, and maybe it'll circle back around to Rhino. Who knows if we can connect some sort of threads? So let's update our threads here. We interviewed the mayor, so that is complete. We can return card 17 and card 8 back to the deck. We have the supervillain at the dump. I'm just going to shuffle these up. Let's see. We still got Mrs. Bruni. Scott Kunkel is sort of out of the picture here. I know that looks like Runkle, but it's Scott Kunkel. And John Gilmore and the security guard. Mayor Brown still in. This villain is still in. But we will say that Darren heads home for the day. He's got this new quest to go investigate the dump. I'm not gonna draw whether Dipna allows him to do that because I want the adventure to continue. We'll just say that for some reason she is okay with him investigating this, because we don't quite know what we're up against, as opposed to just going to attack the Rhino. So there you have it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Leave comments down below. I know we didn't do a whole lot of rolling here, but perhaps in the next session there will be. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.